Hey, it's Andrew Downs. I'm proud to support Three Beards Media, and I would love to work with you. If you need merchandise for your company, organization, band, softball team, whatever, I can help. From name brand apparel to promotional items, large orders or small, online stores, and more, I can help your brand stand out. AKC Marketing is local, based in Johnston, and we are an employee-owned business, so our costs are low and our turnaround times are fast. But most importantly, we give you personal service to make sure you get exactly what you're looking for. Email me at andrew@akcmarketing.com or find me on social media and let's make some cool stuff together. Now sit back and enjoy this Three Beards Media podcast.
Would you like to sample some of my nuts?
You can lift your weights, you can run your miles, but you ain't got what's been earned through trials. It ain't in the gym, ain't in the youth, it's in busted knuckles and hard-lived truth. Back's been sore since 99, but I still stack wood and I still outgrind. Call me slow, call me old, but I got hands that could bend pure gold. Ain't about muscle, ain't about speed, it's about the fire when the time comes to lead. You can talk real tough, you can flex real wide, but when it's time to dig in, boys, step aside. Old man strength, built to last, years of work, no need for class. Ain't no quit, ain't no doubt, you don't know tough till you've been worn out.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Old Man Strength, brought to you by our primary sponsor, Revelton Distilling Company, Greenberry Realty, and Kyle Lehman at Wintrust Mortgage, all broadcast from the Andrew Downs AKC Marketing Studio. I am your host, Chris Shipley, joined as always by Aaron Wall. I'm fresh from Vegas. Aaron was in Atlanta, so we've been kind of incognito here on the show. But Aaron, welcome back.
Well, hi. It seems like it has been a minute.
It has been close to a month.
Yeah, and I am worn out, but mostly from how long that intro is.
Shut up, dude. It's so good. Okay, that's pretty funny. All right, so I got to ask you a question.
Okay.
So you've been to Vegas before.
Yep, many times.
You ever played 3-card poker in a casino before?
Yes.
So I started it off on blackjack.
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking through the Golden Nugget. I won some money at blackjack. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I won. All the other games, I've played cards my entire life, so it's not like I don't know the concept of poker. But
sure,
like these casino games sometimes are a little different or whatever. And so I'm walking through the Golden Nugget, and there's nobody at this 3-card poker game. And the dealer goes, "You want to learn how to play?" Or you want to play? And I said, I'm not sure I know how. She's like, "I'll teach you." Dude, that's a fun fucking game. I won some serious money at that game.
It is a fun game.
That might be my new one.
It's a great game to play, especially if you're already up and you want to sit and be social and have a good time.
Yeah.
Because you can lose money quite quickly at that game, given the way you have to bet.
Right.
But if you've got 2 or 3 people that are just there to have a good time, it can be fun. When I play that game, I play every hand.
Yeah.
Statistically, the dealer only qualifies like 38% of the time or 32% of the time. I can't remember.
Right.
So I just play every hand and I never look at it. And then I just hold it up and show it to the dealer when it's time, and they tell me whether I won or not.
I had the absolute best time Wednesday night sitting at the blackjack table with 3 guys that I had never met in my life before. And we sat there for probably 3 hours just shooting the shit and just laughing and having fun with the dealer. And it was a blast. I walked back to my room. I made like $120 that night, but it was so much fun.
Well, the nice part is you won money, obviously.
Yeah.
But if you sat there for 3 hours and you lost $120, but you had a really good time, that's the whole point of gambling, right? Or should be, right?
Yes.
It's entertainment.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. As a matter of fact, I've won $1,000 in the last 2 weeks.
Nice. Nice.
So, and I don't go very often. I just happen to be driving by the casino that's north of me here because of work. So I stopped in, and hopefully my boss isn't listening, but I stopped in to kill my lunch for a couple of days and, happened to get lucky. So.
I give plenty of money to We Will donations there, Chris. I'm not giving my winnings from the casino. So besides, my wife already confiscated it. So
yeah, that's usually what happens.
It's going to vacation fund for next week. So
I just had to spend $1,000 on a Letterman's jacket.
Oh my God. Is that how much they are now?
Oh, Jesus, buddy. They're so expensive.
That's crazy.
And it's not so much the jacket itself, it's the custom embroidery.
Right. Oh, yeah.
The patches and so my freshman daughter's Letterman's jacket has we just ordered it $1,000.
Oh, dude. And she'll never wear it.
She better, or she's going to get punched right in the face.
She'll never wear it.
Actually, she's paying for half of it.
Oh, well, that's not bad then.
Yeah, well, she wasn't. She didn't want to. She kind of said she would, and then tried to back out. I'm like, nah.
That sounds like that sounds like a teenage daughter.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have we'll have lots of stories because Caitlin's moving back in next month. So I'll be right back in the same boat.
Ugh.
So yeah. Yay for me.
She's got a job.
So she could save money. So
save money.
I know, right? All right. We're gonna get our guest on here. Super excited to bring on. I'm not sure why we haven't had Connor on before. This seems like a miss on our part.
I don't know. It's probably because I'm terrible at booking guests. That's why.
You are. You suck at that, by the way. I'm just saying. But also, I bought this hat in your honor since I can't go to Ireland.
That's nice.
So bought it at the thrift store for $6 with my winnings. Thank you very much. So, anyways, we're super excited to bring. I don't even know how to introduce him now. He's on his own endeavor on Always Race Day, formerly of Cyclone Fanatic, troll of non-Cyclone sports fans. What else? What else can I introduce you as, Connor?
Yeah, you hit it on the head. I like to screw with people a little bit. I got
just a tiny bit.
I try to. It's partially I like to make people laugh, and partially I like to stir the pot when I can. And I grew up with a grandpa, and he passed away when I was in high school, like 10 years ago. That sounds weird to say. I'm old. But I've never had the hatred for the Hawkeyes that most Iowa State people have. So yeah, it's always fun getting in there and stirring the pot a little bit, and maybe tailing the Angel Reese first shot miss betters a little bit too much this year. But
well, there you go.
He just said he was old.
Yeah, how old are you, Connor?
10 years ago, you were still in high school.
I'm 27. I got a bad
Jesus
knee,
Christ.
and I don't play hockey like I used to. I'll tell you that much.
I'm only 20 years older than he is. In theory, I could be his dad.
I don't want to play this game. It's not fun. It's not fun.
Well, my friends give me too much crap, and like I got too much body issues to be 27 years old right now. So hopefully it's not too bad.
I was in Vegas.
You've just never been worn out, and you're just not tough like our.
Yeah. Do you want me to replay the theme song, Aaron? You want me to replay it for you?
God, no.
You ever heard anybody hate on their own theme song before, Connor? That's a banger.
When we first started the Always Race Day podcast, I thought the theme song sucked, and Damon loved it. So we kept it. Was so corny and just like a royalty free, like sitting by the lake drinking beers.
Totally AI generated. It
wasn't. Well, ours wasn't AI generated.
Ours is
royalty free stuff.
Ours is. I paid for an AI song generator. So
heck yeah! I saw the two guys theme songs. Those were funny.
Yeah, that was
one. Those were great.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. So I thought I'll troll those guys a little bit, but so. All right, Connor. So we're going to bring you on here. This is what we do on Old Man Strength. We always start at the beginning. So why don't you talk a little bit about where you're from? I'll give you a brief introduction, but as usual, I suck at this entire thing, so I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing. So why don't you fill in the gaps? Give us a little bit of history about Connor Ferguson.
Yeah, no, you're all good. I'll try to keep it a little short, but
we don't want it short. You talk all you want. That's fine.
I grew up in a NASCAR household. My dad was a huge Earnhardt fan. I guess I've been told the story many times. I don't remember it too much, but the black number 3 car, I'm a big NASCAR paint scheme guy. I love looking at cool paint schemes. You know, the cooler the car looks, the cooler the sport looks, right? And I would watch Dale Earnhardt on the TV when I was a kid, and the plain black number 3 Intimidator car. Then I saw the Jeff Gordon Rainbow car, and I fell in love with it. And ironically, I turned out gay, but I don't think that was the reason. And so I was a Jeff Gordon guy, and my dad's a huge Dale Earnhardt fan. So I guess I was 3 years old, and my dad tried to kick me out of the house. And my mom had to stop him a little bit because those two were at a rivalry for a while in the later years of his career. But so I ended up watching. I thought it was boring when I was a kid, and you know, the more racing you watch, the more you kind of learn about what to look for, what to watch for. So I'd watch NASCAR with my dad. We'd go to Monster Jam, and I fell in love with monster trucks at an early age, like most kids do, and still have that passion for those guys. Even that's racing's WWE is Monster Jam, and it's like a kid friendly, like there's not actually manufactured fights and drama or anything. So it sucks sometimes, but it's still cool to see the trucks, right? And I kept looking at Sports Illustrated as my grandpa got me, and got hooked on these things called Indy cars. And I was like, that looks sweet. I want to watch those. And before you knew it, like every Saturday when I was growing up, if I wasn't going to play a sport, I was sitting there watching the Speed Channel all day on Saturday, watching all these obscure forms of racing and different things. And I was like, that's the sport I loved, you know, my whole life. So, go forward and wrote for the student newspaper in high school. Actually, the newspaper teacher, she's passed away now. Her name was Mrs. Hicks, Diane Hicks, if anyone out there knows her, but she had to like recruit me to join the newspaper. I was like, people call them nerds and this. I don't know why I was like worried about that at all, because I was a massive nerd, and you just had to like talk to me for 10 minutes to figure that out. But she got me to join there, and my mom wanted me to be an engineer or an accountant. And I was like, no, I'm going to write about sports. Like that sounds way more interesting. And I get asked all the time too. And I'm trying to like tie this together and not ramble and stuff. So cut in if you want. But why I always talk about the Barnstormers as much as I do is they kind of gave me my start. Like I was going to Barnstormers games and gave me the pass and all that and helped me out. And Julie, the GM there, has always been in my corner, always there to help me right now. And her dad, John Pettit, was huge into, he'd give me advice. We'd sit down for an hour and talk just about stuff and guys in the league. And, you know, for the site I was writing for, it wasn't being paid at all or anything, but I was kind of the Adam Schefter of the Indoor Football League for like 2.5 years. And I was on the phone with all these guys, and John's kind of sitting there, and he wanted some info from me, but it wasn't as much as I think. You know, we worked together, but I was still kind of like really early in journalism to, you know where the line was and stuff, and when to cross it, and probably should have crossed it a lot more than I did with John, but he did all right. They did it okay. I've always had a soft spot for the Barnstormers, and when Knoxville rains out, I go down there and help them out, and it's super cool. My sister's a cheerleader for them now too, so just really great organization, everything they do. But I guess, I was writing for free for that sports blog. They were based out of Toronto, Canada. You know, it's just the weirdest deal, and I probably wrote 1,000 articles at least for them, and covered all sorts of things and did their motorsports stuff for a few years out of high school when I was in college, and just dorking around with people, and always at Iowa Speedway, and went to Knoxville, and my first Knoxville Nationals, this guy named Jason Johnson won in 2016. And I didn't know it at the time, but it was the coolest moment, and everything about the sport was like, that was, I don't want to call it the peak, because I think Nationals has outgrown even the stage that it was on in 2016. And just that more and more people go earlier and earlier in the week to, now it's sold out, a week or two in advance. And that used to never happen back in the old days. And, but I watched this guy win. He passed away a couple years later, and his car's still going down the road thanks to a guy named Dennis Alba being the sponsor on the side of it. And, still living in, it's Jason Johnson Racing, and it's always going to be his widow is the general manager of the team now and the owner. And she does a fantastic job. And I kind of got hooked on Knoxville and started going more and more. And it's a community down there. It's a special just group of people that they all got your back. And, met some of the greatest friends I'll ever have in my life down there in the pits over the years. And I guess Always Race Day just started for me and Chris having a talk about like it'd be cool to have a racing site and cover that. And we started it up and did some things. We dialed it back a little bit this year when I was still with Fanatic, and I wish that we didn't, but it's in a really great spot. We got some cool stuff that we do, and I'm really lucky to do it, and just looking forward to what the rest of this year is going to bring us.
Yeah, well, Josh says he's super excited to have you on, and gives a shout out to Always Race Day. You're missing great coverage if you're not following those guys.
Josh is my guy, man. I love Josh.
Josh is great.
He's the best.
Yep. Josh is great. Josh is on the list to come on this show too. I've got a whole list because Aaron doesn't book any guests.
That's correct.
Insightful commentary by Aaron right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's why
I've booked a couple.
I'm just teasing you.
It's all good. I got dressed in the Iowa State black and white for this.
There you go.
No.
There you go.
Always be trolling.
I don't. Full disclosure, I don't watch racing. It's hard for me. I think I'm at 54. I'm at where you were when you were younger. It's just a bunch of people just driving around. But I will say that my father-in-law ran a race car for a long time in Harlan.
Okay.
I've been to the races in Harlan before we go down there when I go back. And my sister-in-law and my wife and stuff like to go down to the figure 8 races in Indianola. So it's a good time. I mean, it is a good time to go down and just relax and watch some cool racing. But
yeah, that's on my bucket list. Is I want to get to a figure 8 race and I want to get to a demolition derby. I've never been to either. So
okay, so I've been to a demolition derby. It's kind of cool. It's fun. Yeah, I'm a little shocked you've never been to one of those. It's
tough. It's just the schedule has always just been like so many days to work on weekends, especially with how sports go. That Saturday is money for a lot of these places. And so, I've just never been able to, anchor out a Saturday where it'd be better for me to take the day off and go drink with my dad at a demolition derby than it would be to go down and cover Knoxville.
Right.
Back in the day, probably before Connor was born.
98 was the year.
Christ.
Or thereabouts.
People on here?
I swear I went to a figure 8 race in, was it Adele? Is there a track in Adele? Or was there?
Maybe back before 1998.
Or maybe Boone. I can't remember.
Boone. Man, Boone was always I don't know that was a figure 8 down in Boone. So
yeah. I don't think, and a lot of these tracks can, if they were going to host a race like that, can just move some signs around and do it. But Boone's infield's super smooth. I don't know.
Dallas County Fairground Speedway is located in Adel.
Oh, so maybe it was Adel then. So, yeah, I remember that. That's the only time I've been to a figure 8 race, but it's a good time.
Yeah, it looks like. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
No, if you finish your thought, go ahead.
No, it looks like it. I'll watch them on Flow Sports is a big promoter into racing, and I know some of the Iowa State wrestling fans might not like hearing me say that because they don't like the subscription price. But with where everything's going, the deal for Flow is fantastic, and got some good people that I know over there too. That if you're looking to subscribe to something to watch dirt racing at all, it won't get you Knoxville Nationals. That's Dirt Vision, but it'll get you a lot of stuff with some of the big series that we follow.
So let me ask you this. As I stated, I'm not a race guy or whatever. Pitch to me why I should watch Knoxville racing. What's the allure for a guy that just isn't into it?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
How do you pitch it to me?
Yeah, so there's kind of two ways you can go about it. Is between Knoxville weekly, the normal guys that are there every Saturday the entire year, and they show up for nationals too. And there's a lot of talent there. It's one of the best, I guess, local weekly shows in the country. But it's the same drivers on the same track, and on pavement, that means the same guy's going to win every week. Well, dirt track racing, you go into every night, anyone can win. Different drivers succeed on different racetracks, and it's just how they prep the track, depending on how much sun there is during the day, depending on how much rain there was the 6 days prior, or if there was a race the night before. It changes all the characteristics of the track, so everyone is at a different speed. So that's one part, like the local thing compared to the national tour. I think it's one of the most consistent products in the country. And actually, let me lead with this and then get into that. But I can watch a Iowa State football game and watch it as a fan and leave the day really bummed out. And I can be disappointed all night. And man, that sucked. That was, exactly what I didn't want to see. And you can leave a racetrack like that, but you got to really hate like the top 5 drivers that finish the race, because it's really, you start watching interviews, you start watching the action on the track and seeing the guys that are more daring than others. And, oh, I like this guy, I like that guy, I don't hate that guy. And, whoever wins, you can walk away from a race, and even if you hate the guy that won it, you can be like, damn, that was a good race. And I'm not pissed off at all about sports right now. Whereas I'm a huge Dallas Stars fan, and we lost 4 straight to end the season. I'm like, man, that was a week of just freaking, I'm pissed off every single night that we dropped the game the night before. So that's one aspect of it I've always liked. And I'll throw out there that it's just a lot of NASCAR fans want the car to be changed right now. A lot of IndyCar fans before Sunday night, and they had a banger of a race at Gateway, wanted their car to be changed. The F1 fans are pissed that the cars are too big, and Monaco's a snooze fest every single year. I don't know what they're watching the rest of the year because it's about the same thing. I had to throw one in there. But as far as sprint car and dirt track racing goes, none of the fans want the car to change all that much. And it delivers almost every single night, and it's the most consistent product on the planet. And it's super cool to see. And if you're thinking at all about going down to the Knoxville Nationals, it's the biggest event in dirt racing. It's Dirt Racing's Indy 500 is what it is. It's a festival of motorsports, especially that Saturday. And you won't regret it one bit. It's the coolest thing. There is no shortage of things to do. You got to walk 25 feet and you'll find something to do. So, I don't know. I hope I sold it well there. I get in thoughts and different things in my head of like arguments I've had with people if they should watch this or watch that. But it's just so freaking cool, man.
I have a suspicion I want to test Chris on.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
What is the thing you hate most about a NASCAR race?
I feel like it's, I mean, I don't see the point of watching 500 laps when maybe the last 20
it's too long.
Anything. It's too long. Yeah.
Right.
Like I feel like I could just turn it on with 20 laps left and I haven't missed anything and I just get to see the exciting.
Connor, how long are the races at Knoxville?
So funny you should ask. Both of them went green to checkered 25 laps Friday and Saturday this week for the national tour. And I think one was 6:50 and one was 7.5 minutes. Now the whole night of racing, they qualify into the main event.
But you get a lot more variety.
You could show up later and get get your bang for your buck.
They don't have 450 laps to stay in the draft and bide their time and do all that. They got to make moves, which is why it's so much more exciting start to finish than a NASCAR race is. Because guys are constantly working to get by somebody. There's a lot more jockeying around because they just don't have the time.
I will say the times that I have went, I've enjoyed myself. Like I don't know any of the drivers. So at that point, I'm picking a guy, I'm picking a car that I like, and that's what I root for. Same thing with the figure 8 races. You know, you get different cars out there every race. You're like, okay, I'm taking number 17. You know, and my wife will, and then we'll kind of root against each other. So I do have a good time. Maybe that's more my speed is those types of races than NASCAR or the big ones or whatever else. I will say what you said really resonated with the fact that, yeah, there's been plenty of times I've spent a shit ton of time at Jack Trice Stadium and a shit ton of money and came home and felt miserable afterwards because of the outcome. And I could see where I wouldn't do that if I'm going to a dirt track race. Yeah, no, it's absolutely. And I love that comparison, Aaron, that it is way shorter, especially if you want it to be. And just what they do there. And for nationals, they do basically 2 25-lap races. It's a 50-lap race. There's just a halfway break in between. And some people don't like that, but I'll go to my deathbed with, man, if I paid to watch the Knoxville Nationals and came down for the day and the race lasted 8 minutes, I'd be pretty pissed off when I walked away. So I love that it's 50 laps and that whole event. There's like a post-race party. There's everything down there that you could imagine. It's the Super Bowl of dirt racing, and there's no dirt track race bigger on the planet for sure. I mean, I may have to check it out. If you do, I will get you some beer. You can hang with us any time of the night. Okay, that may be the plan. That might be the plan. So free beer, that'll get me somewhere. We got a lot down there. So let's pivot a little bit here, Connor. I'm curious, where did you grow up? What part of Iowa did you grow up? And I'm going to ask this question because I'm a father of somebody that is in the LGBTQ community. You know, did you have a little bit of a rough time growing up with who you were? No, and I'm never like caught. I don't know, offended probably isn't the right word for that, but I'm never offended at any question or anything like that. I grew up in West Des Moines, went to Valley, just a city kid that discovered country music when he was 12. That's really what it was. Indy 500 pre-race concert with Brantley Gilbert was the first country song I listened to. You were the weirdest motherfucker I've ever Yeah, I know. No. It's different, but I was in denial about being gay. I dated this girl for a year on and off. And she saw something on my phone. She's like, it's okay to do that, right? Like it's completely all right. I don't know. I probably to a certain level, I think like everyone's on a scale. Like I'm a little bi. But yeah, no, that helped me. That was when I was 20 years old. So I really I probably knew it deep down, but I pushed that out of me, especially just, with, I would say, unsubstantiated fears. It was never, when I came out, I had a crew chief. He owns a few cars now at Knoxville. His name's Dennis Gainey, super good dude. And I'd asked him like, hey man, and he has a gay son. So I'd asked him like, hey, do you think like people would treat me different? Do you think that would be a bad career move on my part if I came out publicly with covering races at Knoxville, and that being like the first or second year I was really down there every week. And he goes, absolutely the fuck not. We're not going to, if anyone screws with you, you come talk to me. And that was like the coolest part was like everyone down there has always had my back and always been a good friend to me. Like Matt Morrow was like, I thought I was homophobic. And then Connor told me, he's like, well, if you were homophobic, you wouldn't have me around all the time. And he goes, yeah, that's probably a good point. And
and really just the nicest people. If you don't know Matt Morrow, sincerely, he was talking out his ass and kind of joking a little bit there, but
sure.
Two of the nicest people that you'll ever meet. And Matt's 2M car. If you go to Knoxville, cheer for them. They're awesome people all around there. And I've never had one issue at Knoxville with anyone making fun of that, trying to come at me for it. I'm a hockey guy. I know how to run my mouth. That's something I figured out at a later age. And I'll never have an issue, but I've never had anyone have an issue to even bring that up. So.
Well, I think that's great. I think that's great. And, with it being Pride Month, I did want to ask, I appreciate you being open about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the whole reason I came out was like, I'm a city guy that grew up listening to country music and ended up gay, but I write about dirt racing and watch sports all the time. I'm the least gay guy that's ever walked the face of the planet. I feel like.
Well, there you go. We're 30 minutes in. I want to get to your new endeavor, what made the decision to do what you did, and talk about Chris Schubert asked a question about Cyclone Fanatic. We'd be remiss if we didn't talk about it. So let's get a word from our sponsors, Revelton Distilling Company, Greenberry Realty, and then we'll come back more with Connor Ferguson from Always Race Day.
Making great tasting bourbon requires the perfect combination of ingredients, conditions, and time. The longer it rests, the better it tastes. Revelton Distillery's new single barrel bourbon is made from 80% corn, sourced 100% from Iowa farmers. And unlike mass-produced bourbons, each barrel of Revelton's single barrel bourbon is unique, proofed on when it tastes best. As they like to say, it'll be ready when it's ready. And to ensure the highest standards of quality and flavor, owners Rob and Christy Taylor oversee the production and bottling. Every single barrel. Iowa born, Iowa aged, Iowa bottled. Try the new single barrel bourbon from Iowa's own Revelton Distillery. ReveltonDistillery.com.
When energy meets precision, anything is possible.
I'm Carter Hawley, the Chief Energy Officer of the Iowa State Cyclones. I'm full of energy on and off the court, but nothing gives me more energy than helping families find their dream home. And that's where Green Beret Realty comes in. They're more than just realtors. They're a team dedicated to getting things right for you and your family, just like we get it right on the court.
No basket. Fouls on the floor before the shot. Out of bounds.
Come on! Can you believe that? You can't take that away from me.
That call was absolutely terrible. Are you guys cautiously trying to be this bad? I mean, does your mom not love you?
Have you seen how old my partner is? My back hurts already from carrying him all night. And I've heard enough out of you.
So you're gone. Fine.
Jim, are you blind? Basket's good. We've got a three-pointer. Sometimes it takes a team to get the call right. And when you're buying a home, you want a team that makes all the right calls. That is Green Beret Realty. And here's the best part. When you buy or sell a home through Dan at Green Beret Realty and mention this ad, he'll make a donation to the We Will Collective, helping student athletes like me thrive on and off the court.
That call's so easy, even we can make it.
Green Beret Realty, because getting the call right means everything.
All right, and we're back, and I just want to make sure that we shout out to Revelton Distilling Company. Starting June 23rd, they can ship to 42 different states in the here in the country. So for all you people listening out there that aren't in the state of Iowa, and you've been hearing us talk about Revelton Distilling Company, you can go right to their website, select the products that you want, add it to the cart, go ahead and pay for it, and they will start. That's a pre-order, and they will start shipping on June 23rd. So this amazing bourbon that they have, you can start getting. I don't have to buy it anymore and then secretly smuggle it to Aaron in an illegal package. He can just order his own. It's going to be great.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's fine. It's a misdemeanor. I'm fine. So, and then of course Greenberry Realty, Dan, Chris, you asked about the We Will Collective. Sell a house, buy your house from Dan, and he'll make a donation to We Will Collective. So, and he's got some really good video series on his Facebook page and Twitter account that he's talking about as far as financing and just some questions on the housing market. So check his page out and contact Dan. So, all right, Connor. Well, you got some love out here, Connor.
Yeah, I love JT. He's always been. We used to play hockey together.
Yeah,
I'm not sitting on a door, JT, because the Dallas Stars didn't win a playoff game tonight.
JT, I'm on silent, so go off, Connor. And apparently he loves you as much as I think Casey Kane sucks. I'm not sure what that means. Also, I don't know who
Casey's a buddy of mine. Probably the coolest name drop I can do is I'm buddies with Casey Kane, and JT thinks he sucks.
Well, you can find more.
There's a lot worse drivers out there than Casey Kane.
There you go. You can find more of JT's gems. He produces Chair Shots and Chokeholds Thursday nights with Jake Moores and Joe Knapp. So they actually have a show scheduled this Thursday. So be sure to check out that show if you're into professional wrestling. All right, Connor, let's talk about it. We talked a little bit before the show. Full impression. You made a tweet the other day that you were going full time with Always Race Day. So that's a super exciting thing. So let's break down there what your decision was and where that came from.
Yeah, no, it wasn't my decision. I love Cyclone Fanatic, and I love Chris Williams and always will. And just he gave me a chance when I was a young kid. It's probably a bad look on me. I was 45 minutes late to the first interview I had with Chris because I wrote the wrong time down. Not even like being in a different time zone earlier in the week or something. But I wrote the time down, got it wrong. And I met him and Jared Stansberry at a coffee shop and talked, and he gave me a chance and did some work for them for free for a few years. And Chris helped me out and got me some stuff, and always got Christmas bonuses and stuff like that. And it was great. You know, I've always loved the Cyclones, grew up cheering for them, and got to work and meet some of my idols over the years as well. So it was a great run, great time. Just being there and seeing everybody, being in the press box and watching games from the perspective I got to watch them from is a lot of fun. And I'm sad it's ending, but I'm really excited with the racing site and having this as, it's a passion project I can focus on now and take the time to make it what it's supposed to be and not have it be a side project that I got to go over here and do this now type of deal. So I can't speak on what Jake is doing, but I wish him the best of luck. He's awesome. Jake's always been a fantastic dude, always been in my corner as well. So I'm excited to see what they turn that into. And I'll probably come down to the tailgate losts and hang out with some people during the games. So that'll be a damn fun time, I'm sure.
Yeah. So no coverage. So what's going to be a typical Saturday now for Connor during football season?
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how late some of these dirt track series go. I'm telling you. The Cyhawk game's always World 100 Saturday. That's late models Super Bowl racing basically. So it stretches into November. I'm probably, at least not this year, gonna drive down North Carolina the first week in November for World Finals for the big sprint car series out there. But I'll come down for sure for a few football games and tell I might have to send like a bat signal tweet out like, hey, I actually will be at this game. It just depends. I'm not going to pay $150 for a ticket, but if I find a ticket and I decide to go down there and drink all day and watch a game, I will let the people know. That's for sure.
Well, my buddy's always got extra tickets in our section. We have 17 that we buy every year, and somehow we always have like 4 or 5 extra. And then you come party at the ambulance and take a couple shots. We'll get you.
Yeah, I'll come down. It's so I've always like I would go down and cover the game, and people were like, "Stop by this tailgate, stop by our tailgate," and so I'd have 3 or 4 throughout the day. I'm trying to stop by and eat a piece of food just because I was invited there. So at the very least, I will come down for quite a few and as much as I can. I have a bachelor party on the Ireland game day, so I'm excited. I can just drink and watch that. Honestly, that's a positive at the very least there.
You bet.
And thank you for the invite. That means the world to me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So talk to me about Always Race Day. Where are you going to take it? What is it now, and what are your plans in the future?
Yeah, so we're going to be the heartbeat and the pulse of sprint car racing and late model racing. It's the two big series. Shouldn't say big series. It's the two big vehicles and disciplines of dirt track racing. Every dirt track, they have like street stocks, or that you might call them stock cars, and they're kind of like old, or they might have Crown Vics, like the old police cars. They have modifieds, they have stuff like that. And it's different from covering just weekly dirt track racing, because there's a ton of dirt tracks that still have that and still thrive on that system and that format. And what it's shifted to in recent times, I should say, is, tracks that even if they run that stuff, and that's great that they do it, but it's not attracting the casual fan. Like, you're not going to go to Harlan every Saturday because you went there once and had a fun time. You're not going to sit there, and streaming companies have taken over dirt racing a little bit, but you're not going to sit there and dial it up if it costs $130 a year just to watch your local guys run weekly on the same track every week, as I said earlier. So the model I've seen take off is these national tours are going around and gaining popularity, and the streaming has helped that tremendously. But these tracks will bring them in for 2 or 3 weekends a year, much like Iowa Speedway has started to do, and just have those 2 or 3, maybe 4 big events throughout the season. And we're gonna be there every week for the national tour stuff. So there's always been 2 late model national tours, the World of Outlaws and the Lucas Oil Dirt Late Model Series. And then on the sprint car side, it's interesting. This guy named Brad Sweet, he's sponsored by Napa, and he's married to, I'm going to say this wrong, I think, Kyle Larson's sister is married to Brad Sweet. And so they went in, and Brad won 5 World of Outlaws championships in a row. And that's a season-long points championship, much like NASCAR used to do. Very decorated, very successful sprint car driver. And him, Kyle Larson, and Flow Racing, or Flow Sports, went in and started their own national series. So it's kind of like a Live PGA split, per se. And it's made it super interesting with how the whole landscape of everything is. And there's more national teams now. There's more teams that run these long season-long schedules that run everywhere and run every weekend is a race weekend. So, we're going to be there at the heartbeat and pulse of all of it. And anything that Iowa Speedway puts on, we'll be there too. So just make sure we cover Iowa as diligently as we can, and the dirt track community and all that, and take off what we can take off with.
Hey, Chris, do you know who Kyle Larson is?
No, I don't.
So, Chris, for my money, and people are going to say I'm a biased dirt racing fan or whatever, Kyle Larson's the best driver in the world. It's not even close.
The name sounds familiar. I assumed he was a driver since Aaron was asking, but I do not know him. You could put a lineup of people, and I wouldn't be able to pick Kyle Larson out of a lineup.
Yeah, we did.
As a matter of fact, probably Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt are the only ones that I could.
So Jeff. I've gotten a chance to talk with him over the years too. He's he's a big supporter of dirt racing, loves what Kyle Larson's doing. I'm sure he had a bit of a hand in Rick Hendrick signing Kyle Larson and allowing him. So Kyle races for Hendrick Motorsports now. He drives the number 5 car in the NASCAR Cup Series. And when he was getting signed, I'm sure Jeff had a hand in saying like, hey, it's a risk because you run dirt, you're going to have some ugly wrecks, but honestly, the dirt cars are probably safer than the NASCAR Cup cars right now.
Yeah.
There's just some issues with NASCAR, and dirt's always been safer, but the wrecks look more violent at times just with how they tumble and stuff. But sprint cars with the wings on top of them and late models too, like it's really tough. It's tough to flip a late model number 1, and sprint cars have the wings, so it cushions them. So that's always been a concern with the guys up in NASCAR. We say up in NASCAR. I put them on the same pedestal. If you're at the top of this sport, top of this discipline, you're the same. You can be the best driver in the world. You just got to prove it. And the only person I've seen prove it in the last few years is Kyle Larson, Alex Palou in IndyCar. So I'd put those guys up there. Max Verstappen's fine. He's had fast cars. He's expected to win. And yeah, that's a different deal.
That's F1, Chris.
Oh, okay. How do you know that? That's what I want to know. Did you just
I'm
Google
a
it?
very intelligent person. I just don't say a whole lot.
Yeah, well.
Yep, that's right. You got nothing. You got nothing. I'm a well-rounded individual.
You are.
Expand my horizons, unlike Chris Shipley.
That's okay. I live in my little bubble. That's all right.
Yeah, hey, it's good for me. I don't know how much people hear, and usually that's the like, oh, we started watching F1. We saw the Netflix series. Like, this guy's really, really good. And Max Verstappen is really, really good. I just wouldn't put him at best in the world, but no shame in not knowing who he is. That's fine.
Yeah, so fuck off, Aaron.
There's shame. There's shame.
We'll find shame. It's fine. It's fine. Young career you got going on right now. Give me somebody that has kind of shaped your career and you've admired. I mean, you worked with Rob Gray. You worked with Rob Gray for a while. Give me an idea of somebody that's kind of shaped your career.
God, there's so many. This is a bad question. Not bad on your part, just bad for me to answer. Rob's been my rock, man. Rob, I was dating a guy and he went to the emergency room and Rob was on the phone with me at 3:30 in the morning. Like, I can't say enough good things about Rob and how much he taught me, how much I learned under him and just being there for me and how much that means. Jared Stansberry is another one, kind of as I was his little brother when he was still working at Fanatic, and what he, just people that took me under their wing and said, this is you. As far as like shape my career and like guys I look up to, Tommy Birch is one, and we're good friends. That's one that's not like I idolize. I learned how to write because I read this guy's stuff. I don't have a lot of those. Like, it's weird. I've read a lot of great writers, but I never picked up on their tendencies, I guess, because I read so many different entities. I got a book that I've been working on for 3.5 years, not writing, just reading this 400-page book. I only read when I'm on airplanes. My ADHD is too intense for me to read on the couch. I've tried it a few times. It just doesn't work for me. So Wright Thompson's a guy. Obviously, that's an easy one. But I don't know. As far as shape my career, as I got some sprint car drivers I'd name, but that's just like Ayrton Genitin, Jamie Ball, Tasker Phillips, Carson McCarl. I could shout out like half the pits that have given me advice or like helped me with stuff. So it's cool to have that. I will give you this. Todd Blythe was my favorite Iowa State player of all time. And I probably won 17 Heismans with him on the PlayStation 2. I would turn that difficult. I was 7 or 8 years old, but I would turn the difficulty all the way down and run like the same play action post and Todd Blythe would just be open. And I think they had FCS teams on. I remember beating you and I like 70-0 after they beat Drake because I was pissed off.
After they beat Drake.
Yeah, no, it was like that week. I was like, wow, 48-7. That sucked.
Right.
Yeah, I went home pissed off from the Drake football game, which never happened when I was a kid.
I just started playing college football ESP, and I can't put it off of anything higher. I have to keep it on the lower level. I put it on varsity, and
the new game.
Yeah, it's so easy. It's so easy on the lower level, but you move up one level, and I'm getting fucking creamed. Like there's no in between there whatsoever. Yeah. I mean, it was so easy that Caleb Bacon won the Heisman Trophy for me.
Yeah, I can't stand video games today. I think they have less features, and I think every difficulty switch has been turned to how can we just make this harder for the person sitting over there, and not turn to like how can we make the computer play better. Like you can't blow a team out in that game. You can lead by 17, but you're going to fumble on the next possession, especially early on. They turned it down a little bit, but yeah, I can't stand like that aspect of it. I have big expectations for the new game that's coming out. I hope it's great.
Well, I don't. All I know is I'm a little frustrated because it's no fun for me to beat people 56-3. Like that's no fun. But also I don't
for you.
Also, I don't want to throw 3 interceptions in the first half either, which is what normally happens.
Yeah, Google some sliders or. Google like the struggling with college football. This one's too easy. That one's too hard. And hopefully there's a Reddit thread. But the sliders, if you turn them up like by 10 across the board on whatever difficulty you're playing on, should be at least like a different degree of switching it. Because I hate that there's only 4 too. Like you'd think like we could turn it up from like 0 to 10 or something like that. But yeah, if you do that and you just keep it consistent across the board, you don't even have to.
Those are at.
It's just under settings somewhere. You'll figure it out. Next time you get in there, just remember that.
I'm fairly tech savvy. I feel like I should be able to figure it out.
Are you?
Yes, I am actually. I'm the tech liaison at my job, so I'm not so sure what that tells you about my job.
Consider our intro song you being tech savvy.
Motherfucker, that is you know what? The Iowa Podcast Awards are coming up this year. I'm going to submit that for best opening, and we better win.
Oh, I will never say another word if that wins.
I swear to God. All right, we gotta get another break here. We gotta get a word from Kyle Lehman at Wintrust Mortgage. But Connor, what we do here for this break is he sponsors what we call the Kyle Lehman Wintrust question of the pod, and we use this fancy little wheel where we spin it, and it'll ask a question at random, and then we'll ask you the question. You have time to think about the answer over the break, and then when we come back, you give your answer. All right?
Awesome.
All right, so let's see what this question is. Courtesy of Kyle Lehman at Wintrust Mortgage. And the question is
Chris tech savvy?
Shut the fuck up. All right. If you had to live inside the world of the last TV show or movie that you watched, where would you be and how would you survive? So let's get a word from Kyle Lehman, and then we will come back with the answer to Connor's question.
Whether you're buying, selling, or refinancing your home, or if it's simply time to renovate the one you're already living in, you need an experienced mortgage professional to help you analyze your financing options and to make sure the closing goes smoothly. And that's exactly what you get when you call Kyle Lehman at Wintrust Mortgage. Kyle's experience and expertise, coupled with Wintrust's rates and programs, ensures you'll get the mortgage that's right for you. You may even qualify for down payment assistance. Before you reach out to a realtor, call Kyle and get pre-qualified, empowering you to start shopping for the home of your dreams. Call Kyle at 515-473-0546. Kyle Lehman Wintrust Mortgage, 515-473-0546.
All right, and we're back. Okay, Connor, we'll recap the question here. If you had to live inside the world of the last TV show or movie you watched, where would you be and how would you survive?
All right, so the last TV show I watched was Tires it's Shane Gillis's Netflix stuff.
I knew it was going to be.
I think it's fun. I'd probably be selling tires. That'd be how I survived. The last movie was Speed Racer, which I know movie buffs or movie critics hate it. That was one of the coolest movies. It's still one of the coolest movies to me ever. Just like imaginative race cars, and you'll see guys wreck, and they'll come out of the car, and then they have like bubbles that form around them, and they just bounce down the track in this like bubble wrap ball, essentially. So yeah, I'd probably be a race car driver in that, and crash and wreck, and probably should have died, but had whatever safety features they had in that imaginative movie. But yeah, I love that film. I'm the other movies that could have been brought up are just all stupid comedies anyway. So it's a good thing I watched that one. Like,
so more tires.
Oh, I'd thrive in The Hangover. I mean,
well, it's a good thing
we can find Doug easy. I got you guys. Let's check the hotel first.
Well, it's a good thing that I didn't do mine because mine was Gladiator too. So I'm not surviving.
So you're dead. Yeah,
I'm dead. I'm not surviving. No fucking way.
Well, I've been rewatching or trying to figure out if I ever watched all of Blind Spot. That's been on Netflix. They just put back on Netflix. So I don't know if I'd be the FBI agent side of that or the bad guy side of it. Hard to say.
Haven't seen it.
No kidding.
I've listen, you don't have to take a shot every single time we come up with the topic. I'm not.
Oh, I like it. No, every time he opens his mouth, he's just going after you.
I know. He's just going after me. I know, right? Don't ask engaging questions to the guest. Don't just take pot shots at me. That's all. That's what this whole pot is. 100%.
So easy.
I do make it easy. You're right. All right, Connor. Final segment. This segment is the Steph Copley shut the fuck up moment. Steph Copley was famously on this show. She holds the record for the most downloads, believe it or not, for this show. And our previous
I believe that in a heartbeat. Steph's the fucking best.
She's the best. She was trying to get her point across, and one of the former hosts of this show wouldn't shut up, so she told him to shut the fuck up. And I thought it was so funny that we made it a segment. So, but it's not paid by us. We're encouraging people to donate to the Young Women's Resource Center in honor of Steph Copley. So we're going to play a quick message from Steph. And then when we come back, Connor, we have to shut the fuck up, and you can say whatever you want, and we're not allowed to interrupt you. And that also means that Aaron can't make fun of me. So,
all right.
This is my favorite segment. All right, let's get a word from Steph.
Hey everybody, it's Steph Copley, the woman behind the STFU segment on the Old Man Strength podcast. When I told the guys I wanted to sponsor this segment, they recommended that I make a charitable donation instead, so that's what I did. I chose the Young Women's Resource Center in Des Moines, Iowa. They're a nonprofit that supports, educates, and advocates for girls and young women ages 10 to 24. Their whole goal is to make sure that these young women become strong, self-confident, and successful. And if you know me at all, you know that aligns with my goals as well. If you're interested and would like to donate, check them out at ywrc.org and donate today. And remember, don't forget to STFU and listen every once in a while. Thanks.
All right, we're back. Okay, Connor. Aaron, I'll shut the fuck up. You can say whatever you want.
So, I don't know. I'm a big fan of Pardon My Take. It's a Barstool podcast, but it's really kind of outgrown what Barstool is, and the I don't know. I don't want to like limit it to 10 or there's 10 or so really talented guys at Barstool that I look up to that are super funny, and I'll listen to some of their stuff and keeps me entertained through any bad days. As much hate as I get from the stereotypical journalism friends I have for listening to them. And they'll have an NHL player on, and it's like, hey, you got 60 seconds to bash the NBA. I would do it with F1 in the NBA. I'll just say there's better racing. If you're looking for open wheel pavement racing, go watch IndyCar. There's going to be more passes. There's going to be more excitement. It's so much better than the snooze fest that Formula One puts on every Sunday. I've watched it since 2012. I haven't been like a new fan that's upset with the new car. They suck. They really, really suck. But keep it positive. Go out and go to a race at Knoxville. And if you really want to be wowed, buy your Knoxville Nationals tickets. You can get them for less than $50 for sure on Saturday, the Knoxville National. Don't buy them that Saturday. Buy them now. Buy them before because it will sell out. And go down there and enjoy the day and shoot me a text. Chances are I will just invite you to hang with me. You can go buy a pit pass to get into the race if you're in line early enough around 1 o'clock. They'll open it whenever, 1:30 or 2. But if you get in line, you can get in the pits for $50 and you can come hang with me. I'm not opposed to it whatsoever. Don't get in the background of my interviews. That's all I ask. But sincerely, anyone out there, if you want to experience the coolest dirt track race on the planet, come down to Knoxville for the Knoxville Nationals. And if you're interested in sponsoring a racing show because you like racing, hit me up too. But easy to find. My emails on my Twitter and my DMs are open too. So
awesome.
Yeah, that's about all I got. And F1 sucks. Just wanted to reiterate that. Cool Netflix show. Fine. It was all right. Yeah, they play everything up. They're hootie-tootie. We're Mississippi State, and they got Ole Miss over in Formula One land. So,
all right, we got to get out of here. Aaron, you got anything to close the show out with?
No, I think I've made enough fun of you for the day.
Okay, well, JT apparently will send you a picture of a flight later just for you.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on the rest of the Three Beards Media Network this week. We have Billy and Willie's Workshop tomorrow night. If you have not watched that show or listened to that show, you are seriously missing out. Those two are hysterical. It is an absolute cry fest. I never know what Bill's going to say. Never. Like at one point, never mind. It goes off the fucking rails every week and it's great. And when Willie's the sane one, that should tell you how fucking crazy that show is. So Side of the Storm with Marcus Pfizer, Brent Curvey, Dave Larson is Wednesday night. I got to watch an NBA game with Marcus the other night. That's bucket list shit, by the way. To sit there and listen to an NBA player talk about the NBA playoffs was amazing. Also, that motherfucker is rooting for the Thunder and not rooting for Halliburton, just so we're aware, just so everybody's clear.
They got to retire his number and then he'll root for Tyrese.
He cheered Halliburton turning the ball over. He cheered Halliburton turning the ball over, and I just about lost my mind on him in the sports book. It was sad. So, also special thank you to Ken Miller at KXNO. He hooked me up with amazing seats at the Circus Sportsbook with his son Kale. So that was really nice of him. And then, of course, Thursday night is Chair Shots and Chokeholds. So a lot of content on the Three Beards Media Network. Go to Connor's Always Race Day. Subscribe to that. Hit his YouTube channel. I'm assuming you got one of those, right?
Yeah, no, YouTube's are a big deal. Subscribe to the YouTube, please. And then, yeah, I'll make the pin tweet. I'll make sure it's that post that I had, and we'll put our Patreon below. And
perfect.
We're working on that. But yeah, please subscribe. Do whatever you can. Follow us, and hit me up if you guys have a racing question. If you want to watch a race and you don't know what's going on, send me a DM on Twitter. I will do it as the race is going. I will text you back and answer whatever dumb question you got. So
there you go, Aaron. You can ask all your dumb questions.
Yeah, me.
All right, everybody. This is another episode of Old Man Strength. Stick around where we play the extended version of our music the show just for air. And with that, we are out of here.
Old man strength, built to last. Try to break me, you won't get past. Ain't no quit, ain't no doubt. You don't know tough till you